Righto, guys, what's happening? Tommy back here at the stable. I am back. I'm still harnessing a little bit of a sickness. I'm still a bit snotty, but phlegmy. That fluid's going around. That's why I wasn't on the live. Jack held it down. He did the live show, talked about a few things. Obviously, he's done his update video. I've got an update video here today. I'm pretty sold on my side now, but this particular video is just the biggest talking point. It's Bontempelli. Do you fade the top dog or do you keep him? Now, I've been like this all along. I've had it. I've had him from day dot. I have floated some particular options in my side to see what it would look like without him. And I just have never felt comfortable. I've never felt comfortable not having him. Now, I can understand why people don't have him. It's a large amount of money, 706. It's huge. Now, you can use that money in other areas, and some people can't justify it. They want to get him on the drop, because he will drop. It's impossible staying that price all season. He will have a period where he's going to drop a little bit of value, and that's where people are going to pick him up. Particularly people like Jack, they haven't got him either. But I just want to walk through the options and give you guys the best possible outlook on it, really. And if you want to have him or why you don't want to have him, and if you don't want to have him, maybe some other options you can go for. And if you do have him, sort of give you a little bit of more comfort into why you're having him, because I have him and I'll explain why. So first off, we need to talk about the buys and we need to talk about the potential of his scoring. So with someone that's 706,000, obviously it's impossible to stay that price. We just alluded to that before. They're going to drop. So you have to be aware and you have to be comfortable with the fact that he is going to drop in value. You can't look at Bontempelli and think, oh, he's 706,000. If he drops in value, then I've wasted my opportunity. I've wasted my time. You can't look at it like that. You have to look at it in a very simplistic view of, I have Bontempelli at the start. I've paid up for him. And regardless of how much he's going to drop, it doesn't matter, because I know long term that is going to pay off in value. That's the way I see Bontempelli. I can't think of not having him because I could get him at a lower point if I could just have him at the start and take that fluctuation, because majority of the time he is going to score 120 plus. Majority of the time. It's very rare that Bont gets under 120, 115, right? Because you can even look at his player profile, which we can do. If you click on Bontempelli, you look at his player profile, and I'm not too sure if you'll be able to see this because of my screen, with my webcam. But basically, from round 6 to round 24 last year, he averaged, so I'll just go through, 159, 128, 143, 99, 140, 107, 101, 66, has a bad score there, 177, 63. So he has 2 weeks there, so his average, that's the point where I think most people bought him last year, probably myself, because his 3-round average would have been poor. Then 133, 174, 126, 169, 151, 125, 148, and 144. Unless you are perfect with your trades at a very particular window with Bontempelli, and this is the thing, you have to be perfect, because to time Bont for that window that he's going to have where he's going to drop potentially 100,000, because obviously he's scoring so high that if he doesn't hit that 3-round average, his break even, he will drop a fair chunk of money because his average is so high. Unless it's perfect and the timing is perfect and you've got everything together, you'll miss it. You will miss the boat with Bont. And so if you're on the fence, I'd just take him. Just take him, because I would rather him in my side, and it's something that I don't have to worry about, because it's going to take 2, maybe potentially 3 trades to get Bontempelli. It just is. That's what you're looking at, 2 to 3 trades. Now, I'm going to bring something up on the screen right here for you guys. It's a article done by Supercoach Scout. If you don't have Supercoach Scout on your Facebook, go follow them. This is a little shout out to them. They're brilliant. Their breakdowns of everything, all the sims, and players that are pods and things like that. Just great stuff. If you haven't followed them, follow them now. They do an article about fading the top dog. Now, what they've broken down here, we can read it. They've gone from 2024 back to about 2021, and they've given you the top 3 players. Now, they've shown you that every single year, that nearly every one of them has dropped at least 100,000, some even more. So Clayton Oliver here, he dropped 208K. English dropped 124. Even Bontempelli last year, 111. The year before that, Rory Laird, 109. Clayton Oliver again in 23, he only dropped 42. And then Lachie Neale, he dropped 111, 22. Jack McRae was 700,000. He dropped 98. Max Gawn, he dropped 137. So the pattern is here that the top dogs, they drop. They do drop money. So we're not denying that factor here that they don't drop money. They do. But in terms of the timing, in terms of your trades and how long potentially you might have to hold on to him or how long you might have to wait to get him, if you're comfortable with waiting and you're happy and you've structured your side around buys, then fair enough, don't listen to me. If you think you can get him in, then that's up to you. Now, I could give you another option if you trade Bontempelli out. Obviously, that for me would free up so much cash. And you could get anybody else that you feel is going to be a superstar in the competition that's going to probably outscore their averages here. Now, if it was for me, if I was going without Bontempelli, I'd be looking at players that potentially don't have a bye super early. That's the only caveat to me not having Bontempelli. So this is why I'm struggling with it so much too, is because I flip-flopped, because Bont has an early bye. And if you want to maximize your wins early, particularly if you're playing head-to-head, you could structure your team early around the players that don't have the bye and hope that they grow a little bit. So I'm talking someone like Caleb Sarong or maybe even Zach Merritt. You could even go further down, Jai Caldwell, whoever. These players that don't have an early bye, and that in that first 3 rounds, and then Bont would have his bye. If you could make a bit of cash on those players that don't have the bye, and then you're hoping that Bont doesn't stay at 700,000, which he probably won't, then you could potentially trade out a Sarong or a Merritt to get up to Bontempelli. There is that option, but I just still feel that even if you put, we'll just do it for argument's sake. Let's say we put Sarong there, and even if we left 151,000 there, that would be the only option. You would have to leave yourself with 150,000 or 100,000. That is the only option you could do if you want to get Bontempelli. Because if you use this money, let's say we upgrade Roberts or we upgrade Coleman or whatever, and you leave yourself without 100,000, you will not be able to get him, and you'll need to do 2 to 3 trades in order to get Bontempelli. I'm not comfortable with that. I feel like I want to save my trades. Last year, in particular, I feel like sometimes I got a bit gung-ho with my trades, and I wasted a lot of trades trying to chase players. And so this year, I don't want to do that. I want to stay consistent. I've got this thing about having 4 primos in your midfield and your defense. Now, I've kind of broken that with Roberts, but I still feel that Roberts is going to be he's going to be a breakout superstar in a competition, in my opinion. And the fact that Ridley is now injured again for 6 weeks just frees up more opportunity for Roberts on the ball. And I think he's a gun. I had him last year. I think he's a gun. And Dacos is a new one for me. I did have Clark there, but I had to get rid of Clark to get Petrarca. Now, I'm not sold on Petrarca because everybody has him. And if you've looked at my squad here, I kind of like to go for the pod route. Like Roberts isn't a very big pick. Even Sinclair is not a big pick. And then Pickett, surprisingly, is not a big pick. A lot of people have Petrarca there instead of Pickett. I don't know. I'm on the fence with Petrarca, but I just felt like I had to get him. So in order to facilitate the Petrarca trade, I had to jump off Clark to get Dacos, but I'm still not sold on Josh. Even though I'm a massive Pies fan, I'm not sold on it. I just need to see at least a couple games because he's going to be playing in the midfield, and you would imagine that Nick is going to catch the tag weekly. So it should free up Josh, but you never know. You never know what coaches will do. If they throw a little tag on Josh, is he going to be able to break it? I don't know. But you would imagine that it'll always be on Nick because Nick's going to damage you. But basically, Bont. I'm keeping him. Am I comfortable keeping him? Is it going to hurt me? I don't think it's going to hurt me. Would it be nice to have Sarong, Brayshaw, Merritt? Yes, it would. And have that money in the bank and to potentially flip it. I don't know. I think if you're so dialed into your head-to-head, you want to win every single week, then maybe fade Bont and try play the buys and use somebody, even maybe fade Bont and Goulden and try play the buy and trade them out to get the players that you really want if you want to stack pole wins. I'm not super concerned about that because I think it kind of... You got to remember that there's buys in the middle of the year as well. And I just don't think you're going to make this perfect no matter how you go about it. Even if you start now and you get some wins on the board early, potentially in the middle of the year, it might affect you. So I don't know if playing the buy, unless you have like 8 or 9 players on the same round, I don't think it's super concerning. But a lot of people will say otherwise, but that's my opinion. But Bont, I'm comfortable having him. I don't think he's going to let you down. If he drops 100,000, 600,000, you're still going to have to trade up to get that. You'll still have to give up probably a primo somewhere to go down to facilitate the Bontempelli trade. You will have to, because he's not going to drop below 580,000 in my opinion. I don't think so. I think he's primed for a Brownlow year. He's coming fresh to this season. I think he just, with Bontempelli, he impacts the scoreboard. He impacts the Supercoach points all around the ground. A lot of these midfielders don't hit the points everywhere, but Bont does. So I'm comfortable, but I can understand why you wouldn't. Like I said, if you don't want to go there, maybe you put Sarong there or a Merritt. Get past that first 3 rounds, and then when Bontempelli has his bye, you trade up into him, because I think it's very unlikely maybe he gets 170 every round, although, honestly, he's playing Brisbane the first round. Small pitch at the Gabba. It's going to be back and forth, ebb and flow. They don't really run a tag, so Bont probably is going to score 125 at least. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. So I think he'll be okay in that sense. I put Derksen in, by the way. 99,000, you can't walk past it. A lot of people have Walsh. Jack has Walsh. I'm not about it. I can understand it. I just can't trust his injuries. I know it's a pod, but I think if you potentially you could get a little bit more out of that value, maybe potentially Will Ashcroft, Caldwell. Caldwell's a big pod. Nobody has Caldwell. The guy can get 11 tackles a game. But yeah, Bontempelli, I'm keeping him. I'm backing it. If this was a video you needed some confidence to say, have Bontempelli, this is it. Just take him. Just take him. He's not going to let you down. You're not going to get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have taken Bontempelli. And, you got to look at it like this. Are you ever going to trade Bont out? I'm not. Even if he drops to 550, let's say he has a dreadful year. Unless he picks up an injury where he's out for 6+ weeks, right? If he's not injured, even if he's going through a little slump, are you dropping him? I'm not dropping him. So I just don't understand the novelty of not having him straight away. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're really hell-bent on having a particular player here or down here. But I don't think so. Like, maybe a lot of people don't believe in the rucks. So I see a lot of people having Sherry and Jackson or Sherry and English, and maybe you need that money there. But I don't think Tom de Koning is going to be that much worse than than Jackson or English this year. But that's my opinion. I don't think he's going to be that much worse. 10, 15 points maybe? Maybe? I think that's worth the risk to have Bont. But that's my opinion. Anyway, just a quick one, guys. I need to get out of here and get this sickness under control. And hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll be over it. We'll have a little bit more to talk about. There's definitely some more pracky sims. We'll talk and cover them. Jagger Smith obviously getting 37 touches last night. The guy looks like a star. That's no shock, though. Everybody thought he was amazing. But it is practice matches, so we'll take it with a pinch of salt. But if he's not in your side, you're the 20% that doesn't have him. I've said it a couple of times, you're a fool. So anyway, that about wraps it up. What are we at now? It's Thursday. So yeah, a couple more videos for the rest of the week. But we'll see you next week. 1 week out from some football. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. We'll see how we go. Opening round, 7th of March. Let's get it back. Anyway, guys, that about wraps it up. I'll see you on the next one.